Hi, we're back and we're going to talk about the IQMH Point of Care Toolkit, and this time we're going to talk about its application on an iPad. So what you're going to need is the Adobe Fill and Sign app, depicted right here. For IQMH iPads, they'll already be preloaded. This app is going to allow you to edit and fill in a PDF form while you're on your iPad. So we'll go into a visit. This is a visit that's been preloaded. And where you'll find the form is in Lab Documents. So you may have a list of documents that we've made available for you for the assessment, but within that list you will find the Point of Care PDF. And when it asks you what you want to open it with, you're going to open it with the Adobe Fill and Sign app. So here's the form. Now, of course, it looks quite small on the screen, so we'll use the tools that are available to us on an iPad to make it a little bit larger so that we can make it user-friendly. Now, when you go to prepare for the visit, you'll be able to fill in this with whatever device or test the lab has on their scope. So I'm just going to put a few things in here. Let's put urines. Okay. So that's filled in with the tests across the top. And I could have 12, 13 or more tests across the top. And that's the idea, is that it becomes very hard to keep track of all of the different types of tests and devices that you're reviewing when you're assessing point of care. So we're hoping that this tool will help you keep that straight. In order to fill in your boxes, you're going to use your finger and press and hold for a second, and it allows you to choose a check mark or an X or whatever you prefer. So you may be assessing again horizontally, looking at responsibilities, and be able to fill all these in as you have a conversation with the lab staff. You may want to make a note here to say that you need to speak to someone. About the fecal occult bloods. Okay. Now the great thing about this while you're assessing, because although this is a list, a generalized list of what requirements we need to assess while we're on the visit, it's not every single requirement. It's just a rough list. So you'll be able to go with a 4-finger swipe right back in to the iPad checklist itself, where you can look at the details of a requirement. Say I wanted to take a look at something on here about, do the policies outline the responsibilities? So if I wanted to look at the details of this, it's right there at my fingertips. And I can go from there back to my form and back. As long as I set it up once, I'll be able to go back and forth to my form. So that's how you're going to be able to take advantage of this tool while you're on the assessment. You can pre-fill it with the tests before you go on the assessment, or you can wait till you're talking with the lab staff themselves. You will have the information available to you on the pre-visit questionnaire as far as what point of care tests or devices that the facility uses. So you should be able to pre-fill it ahead of the assessment so that you can prepare. So we hope that this tool helps you. Once again, the fact that it's been grayed out in certain areas where you wouldn't need to necessarily talk to a user but in some areas we do want you to talk to the lab staff as well as the user. It's going to make it very handy for you to do so. By holding down for just a little bit longer, you can use the check marks. When you tap lightly, that's when you get text. If you want to remove it, you just hit the garbage can. And when you're done with this visit, you can close it by tapping on Done up in the corner. I do also want to remind you that if you have multiple visits, you can also put in here the site name. So that you can keep straight one site versus another. So when I'm done, I just tap on Done. I come out of that form with my 4-finger swipe. I can go back into my checklist, and I will say that this checklist that you're provided for by IQMH needs to be filled out, of course, with the METs, minors, etc., and comments, just like always. But the toolkit was designed to help you keep track of the multiple different devices and tests that you may need to review while you're out on a point of care assessment. I hope this tool is useful to you. Thank you.